this word of encouragement. So we are in. Let me get this straight here. We are in Isaiah. All right, we are in the book of Isaiah, and we just had this song played by Rich Tolbert Jr. that says he's in control. All right, and I want you to know that and keep that in mind and remember that God is in control. All right. Isaiah 41, verse number 10. It says this. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep on reading. Verse number 11, it says, "Behold, all those who were incensed against you shall be ashamed and disgraced. They shall be as nothing, and those who strive with you shall perish. You shall seek them and not find them. And those who contend with you, those who war against you, shall be nothing, as a non-existing or existent thing." Finally, verse number 13, "For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you." Friends, I want to encourage you through that on today. The reason why I played this song by Rich Tolbert Jr. Entitled "He's in Control" is because I really want you to see and to recognize and to know that God is truly in control. I don't know what your situation individually or in particularly is about, but what I do know is that there is nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing that is out of God's purview, that is out of God's control, that is out of his wheelhouse. There is nothing. There is nothing. I shared with you all before, in my mom's house, the house I grew up in, right in my parents' house, there is a sign that has always been above my door. Before you enter into my what used to be my room, there is a sign that hangs above that door, and the sign above that door says that it says there is nothing that is going to happen to me today that God and I cannot handle together. And I want you to hold on to that. I want you to hold on to that. And in this on this plaque or this thing, that sign that hangs above my door, there's a picture of a bear that has climbed up this high tree, and it looks like it is afraid and it doesn't know how to get down. And every time I used to look at that, I would recognize and realize that, man, when I feel like I'm on the edge, when I feel like I'm all alone, when I feel like there's nobody there who's listening, nobody there who cares, when I felt like there was just nothing and no one, and I'm all in this alone, I thank God. I thank God that that he has helped me or caused me to recognize that I'm not alone, that he's in control. And again, here's the long and the short of it. We have so many situations that come up in our lives, and when these situations come up, when these things happen, we get fearful, we get worried, we get, we get bent out of shape. That's the best way I think I could put it at the moment, right? And it's not just us. It's not just us. Think about it. the children of Israel, right? You know, they had seen the plagues and things that the Lord had sent down, and how the Lord had caused them to be freed out of Egypt, and how he caused them not only to be freed out of Egypt, but he caused them to come out of Egypt with more gold, the Egyptians pretty much paid them handsomely to leave. Like, you know, they went and they got all the gold, all the stuff, and they were walking out of there loaded down. So much so that they had to put some of it on their children and everything else, right? And they come to the Red Sea and they're like, oh man, we done seen God, you know, send down the locusts. We done seen all the other plagues and the things that he's done. But yet this Red Sea is too much. This Red Sea is too hard. This Red Sea, it's just, I don't know if I can bear this. I don't know if I can handle this. And when that happened, what began to happen? They became fearful, you know, and God had to show up for them again. Then after he delivered them out of that, they said, Moses, you done brought us out here to die. We don't have any food and God provided manna for them daily, right? God provided time and time again for them. And yet and still, every time a situation arose, they would fall apart. They would trip. They would, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, Moses, you done brought us out here to die. And as soon as Moses went up to the mountain, you know, Mount Horeb, to get the 10 commandments, you know, from the Lord, or the commandments from the Lord, what did they do? They started worshiping idols. They started, you know, having orgies and all kinds of, you know, crazy stuff going. Told Aaron, make us a golden calf so that we can worship that. And I get, and I understand that our minds are not so quickly changed. Our minds are not so quickly able to switch from being enslaved or being in bondage, from being, you know, to now being free. Because what does Ephesians tell us? It says, put on again, no longer, or it says, I'm paraphrasing it, but he says, do not be entangled again. I'll give you almost verbatim what it says. Be not entangled again with the yoke or the bondage of sin from which Christ has made you free. Right? And so I want to encourage you. I know that mindset switch for some doesn't happen instantly. And sometimes you struggle from day to day. Sometimes you just wonder and you say, man, I don't know if I can, I don't know. But let me just tell you one thing that I have come to know, one thing that I have come to understand is that if we could just get to a place where we say, God, I trust you. No matter what it looks like, no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on, I trust you. I trust you. See, this is why I love Isaiah 41, verse number 10. Because it comforts you. Or at least maybe it's just me, but it comforts me and lets me know that no matter what's happening in my life, no matter how bad it looks, no matter how, I get it. That I say, you know what? God's in control. He's got this. I'm just, you know, I almost hate to say it this way, but this is how I look at it sometimes. Hey, I'm just here along for the ride, or I'm just, you know what I mean? I know that God's got it. And I have learned how to, as the scripture says, sit back and watch the salvation of the Lord. I've learned over the years how to just say, oh, well, I just trust God. It you know, he's got this. It is what it is. You say what you need to say, do what you need to do. God's got me. I mean, from when I've shared this story with y'all, you know, I had just gotten engaged to my wife, right? And I had just gotten us what was going to be our apartment, that we were going to move into. and I had just moved her into the apartment and everything, and then so she was in there now, and I was gonna be joining her, and I lost the job. She wasn't working at the time, and I lost the job. And when I lost the job, it was like, all right, how am I going to pay rent? How am I going? But I panicked for a second, and I went down and I got another job, like almost, I think the same day. I got I was like, all right, cool. But I didn't start for a little bit. I had to go through, the training, they had to process all that. And in the midst of that, the Lord spoke to me, and he said, don't do it. He gave my wife a dream, and, we interpreted the dream. We sought the Lord for the interpretation, and basically the dream said, don't do it. It's not a place that I have fit for you. And I said, okay, God, I trust you. I trust you. And I learned even in that moment, especially in that moment, to just trust God, right? Shortly after, 5,000, a little over 5,000 was deposited into my account. At the time, I didn't know where it had come from. I've since found out where it came from. And, with that 5,000, I was able to pay off the rent for several months. So we were, good. My wife started working, and the Lord said, I need you to write the book. I need you to do the radio and start the ministry. So I did those things, and God has provided. Every time God has provided. And so there is never a time that will come up in my life again where I don't just trust God, where I just don't trust God. And I want you to know and understand, if you could get into that place to where, and that's why I started off today's show the way I started it off. The very first song that I played for you all today was Ty Tribbett, which says, he turned it, right? Because see, what I know is that God is able to turn some things around. And if he did it before, he'll do it again. Yeah, I know that to be true. If he did it before, he'll do it again. He turned that thing around so wonderfully. And then I could keep going on with what he did for me. But, when I had paid up the rent for, I think, about 6 months or so, after that had started to run out, and my wife was working all that, the Lord allowed my wife's grandparents to bless us with a home. And then, so we got this home, and we moved into it, and it was our first home, and it was wonderful. It was a great place for us to start. We didn't have to worry about rent anymore. We didn't have to worry about paying them back. We didn't have to worry about, you know what I mean? It was just an absolute blessing. And what does the word of God tell us? It tells us that the blessings of the Lord, they addeth joy, right? And not sorrow. I'm paraphrasing, but the blessings of the Lord maketh rich, all right? And they don't add sorrow. And that's what it did for us. And I just tell you, each and every time, when it looks like, man, I don't know how, Lord, I don't see a way, I want you to know, if you can just say, God, I trust you, he makes a way where it seems like there was no way. All of that, I know it seems cliche. I know it seems, all of that, but it's real and it's true. The reason why I trust God, the reason why I can give him all the praise, I can give him all the honor and all the glory, is because he has come through so many times for me. So I know he'll never leave me, nor will he forsake me. I know he'll never fail. I want you to get that in your spirit too. I want you to know that he won't fail. He'll never fail you. All right? All right, friends. I want to play this song for you. It's by Canton Jones, and it just says, when nobody cared, Jesus, you love me. All right. Yeah, that's the name of, the song is When Nobody Cared, or Nobody Cared. But I want to play this one for you. It's by Canton Jones, and it just simply says, Jesus, you love me when nobody else did, nobody else cared. You love me. Friends, you're tuned into I Am Encouraged Radio, and I want to share this with you before I go into this song. You know, if you missed any part of this, if you want to go back and catch it, tune into it, you can always do so. It is available on YouTube. Right now, at present, it is live on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is I Am Encouraged TV. In a couple of days, it will be available on 93.5 KPPM, your community-minded station YouTube page. So it's available on a whole bunch of different places and platforms. I'm live right now on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all those different places, LinkedIn, I think. So I'm available on all those different platforms and places. You can search 93.5 KPPM, or you can follow me directly, James W. Chavis, on Facebook, all right? And on Instagram as James W. Chavis, all right? On TikTok, you can find me as I Am Taller Than You, or James W. Chavis. Yeah, you can find me everywhere, just about as James W. Chavis, all right? And then, of course, friends, let me add this in. If you would like to, if this word has been a blessing to you, I'm not asking you to sow a seed into the word, because the word, it doesn't need you to sow a seed into it. It just needs you to adhere to what it is that God is saying. And all things will be activated and worked out and all that in your life. You don't have to pay for a word. That's not what this is. But if you want to be a blessing, if you want to sow a seed, you can do so. And there's two ways you can do so. You can do it via PayPal. And on PayPal, you can find us as at ENCMIN. That's at ENCMIN. All right. That's one way you can find us on PayPal, or you can cash app $KJ Chavis 18. All right. That's KJ Chavis 18 on Cash App. Okay. So those are the two ways that you are able to be a blessing to us, to this ministry, if you so desire. All right. All right, friends, with that having been said, we've still got some more show to get to. Coming up at 11:30, you're going to hear Redeeming the Time radio broadcast with Pastor Kenneth Goins. Keep it locked, friends. I love you. I thank God.